Hello students, today we are going to see the third unit of the second chapter, Nationalism in India. It is towards civil disobedience. And now, in the beginning of this unit, we are learning about the withdrawal of non-cooperation by Gandhi. So Gandhi withdrew the non-cooperation movement. You all know that because most of the attempts he was doing in non-cooperation movement, everything became violent in many areas, right? And especially in the February 1922, we finally learned about the Chowri Chowra incident in Uttar Pradesh, right? It turned into violent and set fire to the police station, and most of the people, the 20 policemen were killed in that incident. And again, those people were also killed by the British people, and finally, it went on in a violent way, and that is the reason. And not only that particular reason, but also we have already studied that the movement got slowed down in urban areas. Again, the people went to schools and colleges and law courts and started using the British clothes, right? And that is also one main reason. And what Gandhi thought is these guys are not at all still now mature enough by their mind to undergo mass struggles. So he thought that it was necessary to train the people in non-violent satyagraha, and that is the reason he withdrew the non-cooperation movement. And not only that, some we can learn some significance of the also of this non-cooperation movement. What it is mainly means, the non-cooperation movement was a large scale mass movement, and it attracted common people from all social groups. And non-cooperation movement or the Khilafat movement, both went on in a very great way, so that it promoted the Hindu Muslim unity, that you know very well. And non-cooperation movement, not only that, but the peasants and the tribal movements also became a part of this national Indian national movement. And it is also because of this non-cooperation movement only. And finally, it was a non-violent movement. So it got popularized by the Gandhian idea of non-violent satyagraha. But finally, as it is a non-violent satyagraha, it got violent. That's why he withdrew that non-cooperation movement. Okay, and we'll move to the next one. And we all know that because of this, at one particular time, what happens means the people, the Congress people, what they thought means they thought of creating their own, what they thought of creating a power means what, Indian national act, to defend their powers against the British people. For that, what they thought is they thought of, so what taking part in the council elections and to get into the power so that they can fight against the British people for their own rights. And two type of people were there. One particular type of people were liberals and like moderates. So liberal people normally, what the people like Motilal Nehru, Gandhi, and all were in that particular Congress. And one more type of people also like called as radicals. And who all the people under that radicals means Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, Subhash Chandra Bose, and they thought what mainly they thought of creating the Swaraj Party. The Swaraj Party or the Congress Khilafat Swaraj Party was set up by Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das in 1923, and they were tired of these mass struggles because they were undergoing continuously mass struggles, but there is no improvement. That is the reason they thought of joining in the provincial councils to set up a Government of India Act of 1919. And they felt that it was important to oppose British policies within the councils and to argue for reform, and also to demonstrate that these councils are not only truly democratic but also it was against the British. And finally, what we are studying is they also wanted to keep an anti-British spirit. None of the people should support British, none of the people should cooperate British, none of the people should accept the policies of British. That's what they thought. Anti-British spirit of the people to be alive from the non-cooperation movement itself, that was suspended. And now we come to know one main thing, that is uh, two major development in Indian politics that happens, and what are the two factors that shaped Indian politics towards late 1920s. So here I have said first thing is worldwide economic depression. I said you after the First World War, not only India but major countries they were facing the economic depression, and there was no proper there was the prices, the agricultural prices that began to fall, and by 1926, and because of that the country's economical situation was collapsed by the year 1930, and there was a demand for agricultural goods fell, and also exports they cannot able to export it to other countries. That was the problem at that time, and most of the peasants because of this they cannot able to export their goods, they cannot able to sell it in a good way, so they were feeling very difficult to sell their harvest to pay the revenue that they have to pay to the government, British government. Okay, and this was one main problem, and the next problem is the Simon Commission. This Simon Commission was one thing that was appointed to come to India by February 1928. And what was it actually means? It was to look after the working of Government of India Act of 1919 and to suggest future further reforms in the system of administration. But what was the problem in that means? The Simon Commission was created for India, but none of the members of the Simon Commission were Indians. Okay, the members of the commission all were Englishmen, and not a single Indian was included in it, and that is the reason most of the people started having the placard in their hand. When the commission comes to India, they greeted it with "Go back, Simon." Okay, and they agitated. So after that, what happened means the Simon Commission, Indian Statutory Commission, what it actually said is, it is a statutory commission that was set up by whom? The particular person called John Simon. It is actually a statutory commission. It was set up by Sir John Simon, and that only we are saying it as Simon Commission. Okay, and it was asked to study the constitutional system of India and to suggest changes. But anyway, Indians opposed the Simon Commission because all the members of commission were Englishmen and there was no Indian in it, and it did not provide any hope of Swaraj to Indians. If the commission is saying that okay, we will be giving you independence later, in that way, if they are saying means they will be accepting it, Indians. But it was not said like that. So that's why most of the people hated it. And even in the other side, the people like Jawaharlal Nehru and also this Subhash Chandra Bose, they didn't got much support from the side of Congress. And in order to fight against the British, from a particular area called Lahore, they created a Congress session, particular name, particular Congress, and that was held in Lahore, and it was mainly said to be called as Lahore Congress, and it was set up by the year 1929 under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, and they thought of having few decisions. And what is the major decision of the Lahore Congress? What was the major aim of the Lahore Congress? The Congress declared Purna Swaraj, and that was their aim. And as a first part of it, what they did, they thought of deciding to celebrate 26th January 1930 as the Independence Day, and every year we should follow it as Independence Day. That was the first thought of it, and they took pledge that what? They thought to decide to start a civil disobedience movement to win the Purna Swaraj. That was their thought. Okay, that was their thought. And the significance of this Congress session of 1929 is what? That's what we are going to study here. The Lahore session in Indian National Congress of 1929 was under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. As I said you already, two important decisions were taken. First thing is what? To acquire complete independence, or that's what, or Purna Swaraj. Complete independence is otherwise called as Purna Swaraj. And the second thing is to launch the civil disobedience movement. And because of that, January as a Independence Day all over the country, because of its significance, the same day was chosen. Now we are having Republic Day on 26th January. Why it is considered that particular day is considered as Republic Day means because once it was created as a Independence Day by Jawaharlal Nehru from the part of Lahore Congress. That is why it is in order to give respect for his thought and for that struggle only that particular day is considered as Republic Day today. So this is enough for today class, and we'll see in the next class the remaining portion. So prepare 31 mark questions from the topics that we have studied and submit it as homework. I will be assigning the homework in Flipland. Thank you guys. Have a great day.